Hello everyone, welcome to Digital Electronics and Computer Application course. I am Sudhakar Ajmera, Assistant Professor, Department of ECE, MLR Institute of Technology, Hyderabad. Today I am going to discuss about minimization rules for K-map. Let us see overview of today's topic. Before entering to that, we'll see there are actually forms of functions. There are basically two types of functions. One is SOP, another one is PWS function. So what I mean to say, any Boolean function can be represented in terms of SOP forms and PWS forms. Let us see one by one what are the rules for minimization of K-map. So there are the rules for SOP form. Here 8 points we need to follow while minimizing K-map. So first point is, in SOP form, cells groups should not contain 0. So what I mean to say, K-map consists of cells. In the cells, while you are minimizing in SOP form, using SOP form, the cells should not contain zeros. So while we are making groups, the cells should not contain zeros. That is the first point we have to understand. Next, the second point is, the cells containing ones must be grouped, because the cell should not contain zeros means it should have ones, and those cells can be grouped. In SOP form, here 1 means true, 0 means false, will treat. Okay, this is what second rule. And the third rule is, we can group 1 cell, 2 cell, 4 cell, 8 cell, 16 cell and so on, up to 2 power n cells grouping is possible. So we can group in terms of 2 powers, that is we can group 2 power 0, 2 power 1, 2 power 2 and so on, 2 power n. So 2 power 0 means we can group 1 cell, we can group 2 cell, we can group 4 cells, we can group, let us say 8 cells and so on, 16 cells, 32 cells and so on, 2 power n cells. Next, fourth point is, and while we are grouping, that group should be as large as possible. That is what? The fourth step. Next, and fifth rule is, the group should be as less as possible. So next, opposite grouping is possible. Next, corner grouping is possible, and overlapping of grouping is possible. While we are doing minimization of SOP form, we need to follow these 8 rules. One is, we have to take care the SOP form cells should not contain zeros while we are grouping. Second rule, the cells containing 1 must be grouped. Third rule, we can group in terms of 2 power n cells, and group should be as large as possible, and group should be as less as possible, and opposite grouping, corner grouping and overlapping of grouping is possible. This is what the rules for minimization of SOP form using K-map. Let us see second method, that is rules for PWS form, minimization rules for PWS form. In this PWS form, cells or groups should not contain ones. In previous one, cells and group should not contain zeros, but here the cells and group should not contain ones. Means what it can contain? The cells containing zeros must be grouped. In third rule, we can group same as usual. We can group in terms of 2 powers. So 2 power 0, 2 power 1, 2 power 2, 2 power 3 and so on, 2 power n cells. We can group like this. Okay. So 2 power 0 is nothing but 2, and 2 power 1 is 2, 4, 8 and so on, 2 power n. So we can group like this. So fourth rule is, group should be as less as possible, and fifth rule is, group should be as less as possible. Okay. Sixth rule is opposite grouping, and seventh rule is corner grouping is possible, and 8th rule is overlapping of grouping is possible. So to minimize K-map for previous functions or previous form, we need to follow these 8 steps. So in both the forms, if you see, these 2 points will differ here, and remaining rest of from 3rd point onwards all are same. So we need to follow these rules while minimization. Let us discuss one by one. In SOP form, cells or groups should not contain zeros. Means, you see, let us take, I am taking 4 variable K-map like this. Okay. So 4 variable means 16 cells are possible. Let us take variables are A, B, C, D. Certain function is given, SOP function. Okay. So SOP function, they are given like this. That is 0, 1, 3, 5, 8, 13, 14. Like these terms they have given, mean terms. Okay. So here this is what? M0 term, M1, M2, M3 term, M4, M5, M6, M7. This is M8, M9, M10, M11 term, M12, M13, M14, M15 term. Let us say this is 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 1, 1, 0. We have seen this K-map representation in previous sessions, 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 1, 1, 0. How to represent the cells we have seen. So as per this, I have represented M0 to M15 terms, M15 cells. Okay. In that, you see 0 term is given. 0 term is given, and it is in SOP form. It is in SOP form because here sigma suggests it is in SOP form. So in SOP form, 0, 1, 3, 5, 8, 13, 14 terms they have given. So those can be represented with ones. So 0, 1, 3, 5, 8, 13 and 14. So like that they have given. So if I rewrite this like this, okay, where are the terms given? 0 term is given, M0 term is given, next M1 term is given, next M3 term is given, next M5 term is given, next M8 term is given, 13 is given, 14th term also given. Now as per this first rule, in SOP form, cells or groups should not contain zeros. Here you can observe, these are the cells should not contain zeros. So first rule is satisfied. Next, the cells containing 1 must be grouped. So we can group this, whatever ones are there, those cells only we can group it. Next, third rule is we can group 1 cell, 2 cell, 4 cell, 8 cell up to so on 2 power n cells. So what I mean to say, in powers of 2 power n we can group. Okay. So you see, and while we are grouping, we have to see, another rule is group should be as large as possible. So we have to come from maximum 1. Okay. So using this 4 variable, 16 cell grouping is possible. That is the maximum. So we have to see for maximum group. Okay. So here all 16 cells are not filled with 1. So maximum 16 cell grouping is not possible. Maximum group is not possible. Okay. Next highest we have to see. If it is not possible, we have to go for next grouping, that is 2 power 3. So 2 power 3 means 8 cell grouping. So obviously here you can observe 8 cell grouping is not possible. Okay. Then next highest we have to see, that is what 2 power 2 means 4 cell grouping. So 4 cell grouping is also not possible. While you are grouping, we have to see horizontally and vertically. Okay. So 4 cell grouping also not possible. Then see, next one is 2 cell grouping. 2 cell grouping. So using these 2 cells, I can group this combination. Next, we have to see this one. Okay, let us say this is first group and this is the second group. Next, this is one more group, third group. Using 2 cells, I need to group it. Next, this is possible, fourth group. Next, these are the terms left. How we can group? So here we can group this with this. So I can say opposite grouping is possible. One more rule is there. That is what? Opposite grouping is possible. Okay. And that group should be very large. Okay. So opposite grouping is possible. So we can group this cell and this cell. This is what? Fifth group. Now this was left and this is not combining with any other group. Okay. So next highest we have to see one cell grouping. Okay. So this is what? Sixth group. So this is what minimization rules for SOP form. Let us see for POS minimization rule. What is the first rule? In POS form, cells or groups should not contain ones. So what does it mean? I am taking same 4 variable K map like this. Okay. So A, B, C, D, that is 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 1, 1, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 1, 1, 0. Okay. Let us take POS function or form. They are given like this. So pi means product terms. So pi of 1, 2, 5, 9, 13, 14, 15 they are given. Okay. And this is what? M0, M1, M3, M2, M4, M5, M6, M7. Next to M8, M9, M10, M11. Next to M12, M13, M14, M15 they have given like this. So now I need to mark all these max terms. In POS form we can call terms as max terms. In SO form we can call terms as min terms. So you mark this 1, 2, 5, 9, 13, 14, 15 in this K map. So M1 term we need to mark with 0. Okay, because it is in POS form. If it is in SO form we need to mark with ones. It is marked by zeros. Okay. Next to second term. Next to fifth term. Next to ninth. Next 13th. Next 14th. Next to 15th. Okay. So like that we can mark it. Let us rewrite this again. Marked cells. Okay. So A, B, C, D 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 1, 1, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 1, 1, 0. So what are the marked cells here? M1, next to M2, next to M5, next to M13, M15, 14 and 9. So using this, okay, the cells containing zeros must be grouped. What is the first rule? The cells or group should not contain what it is? Ones. So here you can observe cells should not contain ones. And second rule is the cells containing zeros must be grouped. So we can group zeros containing cells. Third rule is we can group 1 cell, 2 cell, 4 cell up to so on 2 power n cell. So while grouping we have to see, we have to come from large grouping. So here using this 4 variable, how many cells are possible? 16. So we can group maximum 16 cell grouping. Okay. So 16 cell grouping, if we want to group it, all cells should contain zeros. But obviously all cells did not contain zeros. So 16 cell grouping is not possible. Then we have to see next highest is 8 cell. Okay. So this is nothing but 2 power 3, 8 cell. So 8 cell grouping also not possible horizontally, vertically. Then we have to see 2 power 2, that is 4 cell grouping. Next highest is 4 cell. So here 4 cell grouping is possible. Okay. So this is one group. Next possibility we have to see, is there any 4 cell grouping? No, obviously not. So 4 cell grouping is not possible. Then next highest we have to see 2 cell grouping. So 2 cell grouping it is possible. So we can group this one. Okay. This is the second group and this term is left and it is not grouping with any other given terms. So then we have to group individual. That is what 2 power 0. That is 1 cell grouping is possible. Okay. So 3 groups are formed and using these 3 groups, this is what the rules for minimization of K-map for SOP and POS forms. So today we have discussed about rules for minimization of K-map for SOP form and second one POS form we have discussed. In next session I am going to discuss about minimization problems on K-map for SOP form and POS form. Thank you.